Hello, Giants fans, and welcome to your Giants News Roundup for Friday, June 3. I'm your host, Ed Valentine of Big Blue View. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to Big Blue View Radio. If you like what you see here on our channel, my work, Nick Filado's work, as we try to help you guys stay in tune with your New York Giants. All right, so today, Giants fans, we need to talk about OTAs and Giants injuries. Obviously, the Giants on Thursday held their 9th OTA, third with media access. They hold one more OTA on Friday, hold mandatory mini camp next week, and then they're off for roughly 6 weeks until training camp begins at the end of July. Several players have continued to work in red non-contact jerseys, most notably number 5 overall pick Kayvon Thibodeaux, who hasn't worked since early in OTAs after suffering an undisclosed injury, and left tackle Andrew Thomas, who did not work on Thursday, wore a red jersey during the individual period at the beginning of practice, did not do any work in the team periods of practice as he recovers from off-season ankle surgery, his second ankle surgery in as many off seasons. The Thibodeaux injury, to be honest with you, Brian Daboll was very coy about Thibodeaux, about Thomas, about any of the injured players, including, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, anyone that's been wearing a red jersey at this point in time, as far as, whether they'd be back on the field next week, whether they'd be ready for training camp. The NFL teams are not required to give any injury information at this time of the year, and Daboll certainly did not do that when we spoke to him on Thursday. He said these guys might be ready for mandatory minicamp next week. Said they might be ready for training camp. They might not be ready for training camp. He wasn't making any predictions, any promises, and that, to be honest, is exactly what Daboll is supposed to do at this time of year, when he's not required to give out injury information, because this is the off season. So that leaves us to read between the lines when it comes to Kayvon Thibodeaux. We saw him on the field on Thursday doing some agility drills, running a lot of sprints. I don't know exactly what his injury is. Again, the Giants are not required to disclose it. But he did appear to be moving well. It's not, to me, I'm not all that worried about what he's missed on the field. The Giants are working in shorts and t-shirts. They're not doing a lot of pass rush. There's no real, there's no real physical blocking going on. There's no pads. These are glorified, even when they're 11 on 11. These are glorified 7-on-7 passing drills that the Giants are running when they do team periods. To me, Thibodeaux looked like a guy who there shouldn't be any long-term concerns about. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't have inside information, but he did appear to be moving well. Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, we don't know. I mean, Shepard coming back from the Achilles tear. Kadarius Toney, coming back from apparent off-season, arthroscopic knee surgery. I wouldn't expect to see either of those guys, next week at mandatory mini camp. I would probably expect to see Toney on the field during training camp, at the beginning of training camp. Shepard, we're not sure about. One of the interesting things to talk about when it comes to these injuries is that it's giving guys opportunities. In the edge rusher group with Thibodeaux out, we're seeing Ellerson Smith, second-year man, get a lot more snaps. We're even seeing O'Shane Ximines, who was buried really last year by the former Giants regime. We're seeing Ximines get some opportunities. I don't expect Ximines to make this team, to be honest, but he is getting some reps and getting an opportunity. The reps that Ellerson Smith is getting in Thibodeaux's stead certainly can't hurt him at all. Same with Quincy Roche. At the wide receiver position, the absence of Shepard, the absence of Toney, the absence of Kenny Golladay, is allowing guys like second round pick Wan'Dale Robinson, veteran wide receiver Darius Slayton, newcomer like Robert Foster, guy like CJ Board, guy like David Sills, all of these guys to get extra reps, get an opportunity to impress the new coaching staff, maybe increase their chances of making the 53-man roster or sticking on the practice squad. So if you want to look at the positive side, I think that Golladay, I think Tony are going to be ready for training camp. I think Sterling Shepard will be ready at some point. And these other players are getting an opportunity to impress and to help the Giants build some depth at the wide receiver position. To be honest, the one thing that concerns me a little bit, and I don't have any inside information on this as well, but the one thing that concerns me a little bit is the status of left tackle Andrew Thomas. Thomas has had ankle surgery each of his first 2 NFL off seasons, has been working in a red jersey throughout OTAs, throughout the voluntary minicamp. And on Thursday, when we saw the Giants, Thomas did less work than he's done at any point in any of the preseason practices that media, has witnessed. He did individual work at the beginning of practice, did no work at all during the team periods of practice. Some of the red jersey guys are doing some work in team periods. Thomas did none. And it was concerning to me. Maybe it was a bit of a rest day for him, but it was a little bit concerning to me that Thomas did less work than we've seen him do in previous practices. The players who appeared to fill in at left tackle, it looked like rookie 3rd round pick Joshua Azuda, thought to be mostly a guard at the NFL level, was filling in at left tackle. Looked like Corey Cunningham, who was a swing tackle for the Giants, also got some reps, mostly with the backup units, but it looked like Izudu was the one who was taking first team reps in Thomas's stead. His status, his ankle, that for me is one to monitor. Once we do get to training camp, we'll see if there's any lingering effects from Thomas's off-season surgery. As I said, Brian Daboll wasn't giving a whole lot of information on Thursday. Doesn't have to, so you can't expect him to. But that's really where the Giants stand with injuries. As I said, the one for me that I really want to monitor, the one that I think could be something worth paying attention to is Andrew Thomas. On the flip side, defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence and left guard Shane Lemieux, who were wearing red non-contact jerseys earlier in the OTAs, were both full participants in OTAs yesterday without red jerseys on. So they're both progressing. Lemieux, of course, appears to have a shot at winning the left guard job. And Dexter Lawrence, of course, is a key member of the defensive unit. All right, Giants fans, thank you very, very much for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.